Hello again, Spencer from the Romford Horror Festival, and I'm here with the fantastic Johnny Vivash.
Hello.
Who is the star of Black Mass. We've spoken about Black Mass before.
Indeed we have, yes.
So I don't want to dwell too much on Black Mass, but what I thought we'd do is, for anybody that hasn't seen it, just get you to explain the story, and then we'll talk about some of the other things you're currently up to that you can talk about.
Absolutely, yes. I don't want to give anyone any spoilers away. So, Black Mass is a family drama with horror psychological overtones in it, and it's about loss, and it deals with a very tricky and difficult subject of suicide, and by virtue of that, mental health. So we approach that subject from the horror genre side of things. So yeah, it's been on its festival and circuit run now for a while. So it's great for that to be kind of winding down, I guess, in a way. A lot of people have seen it, and
it's been 2 years, isn't it?
It's been 2 years, and now myself and Scott are kind of gearing up for his next project, which is going to be a feature. So it's great to be part of that and part of the filmmaking process with him, because beyond him being a director, he's also a good friend now. So that's always good when you have a shorthand with somebody in the industry.
On a slightly personal level,
Yeah.
the thing that I always really admire about you is you're a genuine kind of straight up guy. You're very personable. You're very supportive. Do you think that is the approach that gives you, you're always working, or at least you seem to me to always be working, and if you were talking to someone that was just starting up as an actor, what sort of advice would you give to them?
Well, thank you for that. That's very kind, very lovely words, very kind words. But I think, you have to be, and I think you've got to be as honest with other people as you are with yourself, because you're going to have a very easy night's sleep. That's the way I think about it anyway. But I think it's approaching projects that really sing to you and really say something to you as well, and not feeling that you just have to do everything and anything. There's certain projects that you really, really desperately want to do, and you won't want any other actor to get that role. It has to be your role. And I think just in being lucky enough to be cast in a fair amount of shorts that have gone on to fairly decent festival circuit runs, I think it's so important to, when you're on set shooting, just to be available, just to be open to anything, and to have an environment where everything is possible, within limits that nobody's going to get hurt, and just having that affable quality and that friendliness. I think, if anything, what an actor always wants is a level of relaxation on set for them to get to the places that they really need to go with a character. Particularly, say, with Black Mass, you needed that. And we were all very thick with each other anyway. We all knew each other, so we could certainly go to those places for that short. But off the back of that, then, when you're lucky enough to get selected for festivals, I think it's really, really important to go to those, and regardless of if you're a lead in it or you're in a scene with a couple of lines, it's so important to starting to understand the mechanics of how festivals work, and getting to know people who run festivals, and chatting to people and chatting to other actors and directors. There's no guarantee that that's going to generate work, but you're going to chat with like-minded people, and you're going to chat with people whose films you'll see and go, I love that short, I really have to speak to that person. So that's, if you can afford it, jump on a bus, stay in a hostel, beg, steal, borrow, stay on a friend's couch, and go and do the festivals, for sure.
What can you tell us about projects that we might be seeing next? Right. And I know there's something you're working on that you can't say too much about, but what, obviously you've had other work. I mean, although it's been probably a quiet year.
It's been a quiet year, definitely. Everything went on ice, essentially, and a couple of projects I was working on have now turned into block film project. by that, you know, in terms of when we have a 7-day shoot availability, we can do that month by month or sometimes 2 months down the line. So yeah, there's working on a project at the moment that's called Isaac. I can give you that. And we have the love. I think I'm allowed to say this. We've the lovely Katerina McCall that we know from her involvement with Fulci and Giallo. So that was great to be shooting those days with her. And she's fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her again when we complete the project, which is a little while off. I think we've got a few more blocks to do. So that is kind of knocking on the door of a feature. Beyond that, there's a few shorts that I've turned over on that were 6-day engagements, 5-day engagements. So they're in the process of being edited. But one in particular, we were out in the Bristol Channel, in the Bristol Estuary, on the Somerset side. So we're out in a little kind of trawler, and we're shooting out there for 3 days on the sea. So that's another psychological drama between a father and a daughter, but I don't want to give too much away. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of that and getting that out on the circuit. And that's with some very young, exciting directors as well. So a couple of things in the pipeline and other things floating in the background waiting for a thumbs up. So yeah, but glad to be working again. I think I'm feeling very, very grateful to have got some bits and pieces to be doing as well with filming. And you know, with this amount of time away, stepping back onto set, it's just a joy. It's lovely to be in that environment and, you know, hearing, you know, the speech or all the basics, but it's just really nice to be doing work again.
Brilliant. Well, thank you ever so much for coming. I know you've got to get on.
I've got a dash.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, transport issues on a Sunday. Great, thanks, TFL. And hopefully, either under the horror guise or the normal film festival guise, we will see you in 2022.
Yes, you betcha, definitely. Love coming to the festival, love it down here, so hopefully it's going to be a long and fruitful relationship by bringing films down here. Yeah, definitely. Thank you again for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.